Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Disability Channel, the Today Show, New York. I'm so excited to be joining you live from New York City. I'm Rachel Handler, and I will be your host for this episode. This past week or two has been crazy. I'm in an off-Broadway show called The Lucky Star, and we opened on Thursday to rave reviews. So I'm so thrilled to be part of the New York theater scene again. It has been a while. I was doing shows in San Francisco and a TV show in New Orleans. So it's really wonderful to be back performing in the city that I love so much and that I call my home. Even on, rainy days in the spring when I'm hoping for nice sunshine and I'm flooded in the subway, I still love calling this city my home. The theater community is just blossoming. There were the Tony Award nominations that just happened. Theater is back and more alive than ever in New York City. And there are amazing off-Broadway plays, off-Broadway plays. So just, if you come here, think about seeing more than just a Broadway show. Go to off-Broadway. Some of the real magic happens there. So I'm so excited to be here with you today. And I'm really thrilled for our guest today, Namel Tapwaterz Norris. He is from Four Wheel City. And speaking of theater and live performances, he's a musician and a true artist. So I'm so thrilled to have him with us today. And he will be joining us shortly. So stay tuned, stay cool, and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Rachel Handler, and I'm so excited to introduce to you Namel Tapwaterz Norris from Four Wheel City. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. It's so great to have you here today. I was thinking about the first time we met, and
Okay.
I don't even know if you remember, we met at the Focus on Ability Film Festival. I think it was like their first time in New York City premiering some films. Yeah, and they had like an after party and we were chatting there. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's so cool. I hope we cross paths again soon. And then I think we did a few times, and then now we're here. So it's great to have you here.
Nice to hear. Oh yeah, I think I remember that event. It was like a Hunter or something, right?
Yeah, it was right
Yeah.
around there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it was
remember.
a beautiful screening room. They showed some of the films from the Focus on Ability Film Festival, which is based in Australia, but they decided to, have some screenings in New York,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
they're in
really cool.
Australia.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Australia, so maybe
It's cool.
someday. Yeah. So, Namel, I would love for you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you wound up in New York, if you grew up here. Just give us a little backstory.
Well, yeah, I did. I grew up here, born and raised. I grew up in the Bronx, the home of hip hop. Um,
Yeah.
so I was born in the Bronx, but I live in Manhattan now. But so when I was 17, growing up in the Bronx, I was accidentally shot with my cousin playing with a gun. Um, just left me paralyzed. Um, from then, I met Rick. You can see in the picture back there, my partner that he does beats, and we started a movement forward city. First, we started as friends to just have something to do after like he
Yeah.
was injured by gun violence a couple of years before me, and then we like got together, started doing music. My mother, who seen him one day and told him about my story because he was injured a couple of years before me, and he gave her his number, and then we became friends from there. He was doing beats, I was rapping, and then we started to make songs that we felt like would help people and make a change in the world, like the movement for inaccessibility, pressure for people to
Mm-hmm.
do pressure reliefs, welcome to reality, to help kids stay in school and stuff like that, and away from gun violence. So we was doing that, and then it came together as Forward City, which is like to inspire, educate, advocate, and entertain. That's when we see people throwing up the fours. That's what it means. And we've been doing that to just, I guess, it's kind of a play off of New York City as well, because New York is kind of the blueprint of how we want to like represent ourselves as an idea of a city. Because it's not really just about us. It's about everybody who has a disability, especially if you're in a wheelchair, to show like you can still do something with your life. You don't have to give
Hmm.
up.
Yeah.
And then like to show other people that who don't believe people could do stuff, to show them that we can.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that. That's so, so important because I feel like a lot of times people just see, like, oh my God, she lost her leg. Oh my God, he's in a chair. And they think our lives are so sad. And that's sad that they think that way, really.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
so
what I attach it.
tired. Yeah, yeah. I'm just tired of seeing disability portrayed as like you can only be angry or you can only be sad, Like I get so many auditions for disabled roles that are just like stoic and we're in the military and stand up to authority and are like, I'm angry or I'm whatever. And I'm like, can't I just be me? Like, can't I
A
say
regular
something with
person.
a smile? Like, why do I have to be so serious?
Yeah, like it's almost like a step. And
Mhm.
but because before I was in a wheelchair, I didn't know anything about it. So I was like, I want to change that. Like be like a
Yeah.
translator.
And you really are. Like, what were those four pillars again that you mentioned?
To inspire, educate, advocate, and entertain. So like to inspire people,
Hmm.
educate people, advocate for people, and entertain people through the music and
Yeah.
stuff. Or whatever people are doing, because it's like we named it Forward City because it's like so many things going on in the city. When you think about New York City, so many different kind of people. It's gritty. It's like a lot of stuff going on. It has like 5 boroughs, so there's a lot of parts. And at the time, I was also working at 311, which is the city information line, and
Right. Right.
I was learning a lot about the city. So I was like, at the same time, I was like using what I was learning to like build the city when we was doing it.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're just like very tuned into what's going on in the city. And I
Mm-hmm.
love, like, we're going to put a link to your music or something for sure for people to listen because you're awesome. You're so talented. And I'm so glad that you're putting yourself and your artistry out there in such an amazing way where you're not only creating like something that's fun to listen to, but you're inspiring change, you're advocating for change through your music. So I think that's so, so powerful. Um, I'm wondering, of all the songs you've done, do you have like two or three favorites that you can name off for us and why they're your favorites?
Well, it's hard to
Not to
say.
put you on the spot.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I guess I can go the movement for sure because that's like the first one that's full see that we had to do that kind of put us on a map, and it kind
Yeah.
of brings everybody together, and we start off the show with it, and then we have I like that one because it also all the songs kind of really speak to how I feel about things.
Hmm.
So, but that one was like generally speaking aggressively towards people who wasn't aware of that, like the accessibility stuff. So it was like a battle song to those people. But and then the video has like the first parade in New York City, Disability Pride Parade, and like so many organizations is in it. And then it was premiered on Revolt, which is like a mainstream hip hop music platform. So that song has like its own legacy. And then I would say Welcome to Reality, which is um,
Hmm.
which is the one for kids that we did well at risk youth to stay in school and away from violence. We filmed a video that touches a lot of people. I like that one because it addresses the youth from the perspective how I seen it when I was a kid, but then seeing what. But and I would say the third one is either probably In My Shoes or which is talking about putting people in my shoes because if they can't understand what I went through. So a lot of times it's like when I came home from the hospital, people were trying to treat me like I was like being in a wheelchair was a joke. So I made In My Shoes, and then I remixed Dear Mama. I think it was between In My Shoes and Dear Mama, Tupac song, as a gift for my mother for Mother's Day, which was yesterday, and she passed away in '07. But I made this song maybe in 2005 or 4, and she liked it so much we started performing it, and it really touches people when we perform it. She made me perform it one time, and I got the reaction, but it seemed like people have cried from it and stuff. So I think between those mixture, but there's so many of them, like when you perform, because they all have a message and a story. So it's at least like 10 of them that I really like that I put in a package that like it's my life.
Incredible. Yeah. Thank you for sharing those and the stories behind them. We're going to take a quick break and jump right back into more music and just living in the gritty city of New York, sometimes with a disability. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
We are unstoppable.
We shoot for the stars.
And we can achieve anything we set our minds to.
We're entrepreneurs,
We are community leaders,
athletes,
artists,
organic farmers,
We are mothers
and daughters.
unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
And yet, people with disabilities probably can't use your website.
To buy your shoes.
order your food,
Apply for your job.
To use your data insights.
just like everybody else.
For millions of Americans.
America.
Like me.
Like
Me.
me.
Like me.
The internet is inaccessible.
Hey, if your business has a website, make it accessible.
For everyone.
Unlock web accessibility with Accessiby. It's simple and affordable.
And don't just do it to be compliant.
Do it because it's the right thing to do.
Web accessibility is Accessiby. Start your free trial today.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens for the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So,
you say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special. I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like
First
that?
time ever,
All
baby.
right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
All right, we are back with Namel, Tapwaterz, Norris from 4 Wheel City. I love everything you just said about the songs that you have made. I'm curious to know how New York, living in New York might have inspired some of those songs. Like, do you have any stories of accessibility troubles within New York City, perhaps?
Well, I would say the movement is a whole spill on New York City because it's just explaining like what happened when I started trying to go out to like do stuff socially. I wasn't, well, not even socially. Even when I came out the hospital and stuff, the school I went to wasn't even wheelchair accessible, so I had to go to another high school. So
Oh my gosh. So you had to leave like everyone you knew, the teachers you were with, simply because you now had a disability. Wow. Wow.
So that was right off the bat.
And
I
you're already like dealing with such a big change physically that also leads to another big like mental shift, you know, adjustment, emotional adjustment to switch schools. So wow. Wow.
There was so many things like going to schools, calling first. That's why I made the movement. Like in the first verse is like, let's say, well, first I like to say recipes of Christopher Reeves, but I got sign on my chest. That's what bothering me. What's the problem be when I'm out in the streets? It's like I can't go nowhere. What's wrong with me? How come when I go to the store, I gotta call first to see if it's wheelchair accessible? How come they treat me like a vegetable? Like I ain't here and I can say I don't care, but the truth is I can't walk up the stairs, so I need a ramp and an elevator too. While you at it, bring accessible bathrooms. When you want the same thing if it happened to you. And welcome to Four Wheel City, where you from Four Wheel City. Here we come, Four Wheel City. It's a movement for improvement. That was like, it sounds like a song now, but it wasn't to me when I wrote it. It was like how I felt.
That's
I wrote it like in 5 minutes because it was just how I felt. It wasn't even like I was trying to do anything tricky.
Yeah. Well, that's like amazing. It's like poetry just flowing from you and from your thoughts and your situation. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
I was like,
and then,
I said, you know, my rhyme, but I took like all my like cliche ways of rapping, like metaphors and everything. I took it, I removed it. I said, I just want to purely just say exactly how I feel in this song and just rhyme it. And that's what I did. It was like pure, like a lot of those songs I was doing, it was like pure emotions.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't trying to really like impress anybody too much. I just wanted to like say how I feel.
I think that's when the magic really kicks in. When you're not trying to impress anyone, you're just digging deep into how you're feeling. And that's going to resonate with so many people, you know, I think the more specific we get with our experiences, the more universally that story can be shared. So that's so powerful. I know for me, like dealing with New York City subways is a nightmare, even with a prosthetic leg. Like one of the machines just ate my disability card that had my picture on it and everything. So then I had to like, they gave me a billion things to do to get a temporary one and to get a new one mailed to me. And, you know, you have to go to one specific kiosk in Times Square. And it's like, that's not easy for me to get to. Like I have to go like a mile out of my way to get there for a temporary one because the machine ate my card. And like, you know, there's so much that makes it extra hard to be a person with a disability living in New York City.
Yeah, because I've been in a wheelchair for like 22 years, and I would say it's coming. There has been changes. There's more accessibility, like the cabs now. Ubers have lifts. Trains. They need more elevators, but some train stations have lift. But I remember, like, this is 1999. I first came home and I had a legal issues to deal with, and I had to go to the court. And we took the train, and I remember my mother had to figure out how we had to get there. But when we got downtown, I don't think the elevator was working, and they had to carry me up the stairs. And I also, it was like some officers. This is maybe like 3 days fresh out, like the hospital.
Wow.
I had to deal with that. And I remember also going down the curb and like my front wheel hit like the street was kind of messed up and almost falling forward. And my friend had to catch me. And this was like, I didn't even know anything about how to get around by myself yet or really even push myself. I was like, wow, this is crazy. because I can't even
Yeah.
like just go somewhere. It's like danger zones.
Yeah, it's a big learning curve, I'm sure. And then it comes to like physical therapy and occupational therapy. And sometimes health insurance doesn't even cover those things for a lot of
Yeah.
people. And they're so necessary and so important to, fast track getting used to being in a wheelchair, getting used to a prosthetic leg or whatever you're going through. So there's a lot of work to do. I actually was just looking into, because I'm about to move to New York, hopefully. And my health insurance in New Jersey is a lot better than in New York. So it can vary even from state to state, and I'm like, New York State, why are you so awful for prosthetic legs and prosthetic arms? Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, that's something to consider too. Like what state helps more and stuff.
Yeah.
Gives and some states I hear like really accessible too. But, more because I've been traveling doing music a lot, and I noticed like there was places that had cabs before New York, and I was surprised. And go other places and it seemed like other stuff. I just came back from Vegas and got the Grammys, and they had a lot of the casinos out there. They had the bars and the clubs had a lot of ADA compliance. They had like the lower bars and stuff. Every bathroom they had a lot of ramps in the places like in the clubs and stuff. They had ramps, and it was kind of interesting to see how. And I know it's a smaller space, but it was kind of interesting to see like these things that I know is supposed to be everywhere, be somewhere, then be like get kind of used to it there. And, well, if it's not there, sometimes you might overlook the fact that it's not there, but when it's there and you use it, it's like, oh wow, like I would like to have this everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the Grammys, how was that?
Oh, that was like kind of a moment to remember, because I went with organization that was starting now that's getting going called Ramped, recording artists and music professionals with disabilities. Went with like the co-founder Lachi and another artist Precious who's with it, and we went as invited guests of the Grammys and supporting it. They also they helped us launch it in January of this year. We launched from the Grammy Museum Experience, and I guess going there I didn't really know what to expect, but the fact that it was like in Vegas and stuff was pretty cool because I got to take in a lot at one time, like being in Vegas, but also promoting my song that I just released, Immortalized, about Tupac and Biggie, maybe still being alive and stuff. Tupac got killed out there, so I was doing that. But the Grammys itself was an interesting experience because being there for the first time as an artist, even though I wasn't nominated, it felt like it because I guess the journey to get there felt like it was a moment to like a victory moment for the community, because how we got there to represent Ramp, but also people were kind of taking notice to like what we were doing, the way I was dressed and stuff. I was getting a lot of attention, so it was, I don't know, felt like my birthday or something, but it was nice. And then to be at the actual event was cool to see the artist, my favorite artist Nas perform. And it just was cool just to be there, like give me a little closer to like my dream being realized of like 1-in-1 one day, which I think will happen, and just hopefully helping other people be inspired to do it too.
Incredible. Oh my gosh. What a moment for performers and singers and musicians and rappers with disabilities. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because Ramped, Lachi, you guys are doing just incredible work. I want you and Lachi to do a collaboration. That would be really cool.
That's going to come soon.
Yeah. Oh my God, amazing. Well, Namel, 4 Wheel City, thank you so much for being here today. I'm
Thanks
so
for
glad
having
we
me.
got this chance to catch up. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna be performing in Philly on the 11th of June. And actually, going to be performing there. Like a couple of ramp artists are going to be there at the Disability Pride celebration on June 11th. If anybody in the Philadelphia area want to come out and rock with us.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
June 11th, Philly,
Yeah.
Disability Pride. Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much. I'll pitch that again at the end of the show too.
Okay.
Incredible. Maybe I'll even come down, you know? Oh, I have
Yeah.
2 shows that day. Maybe I can't. I have to be in New York. But my
Yeah,
family
good luck
lives
with the
close
show.
to Philly. Yeah.
Good luck with the show. And actually, another member of Ramp, she did the score for the Macbeth play, Galen Lee.
Yeah.
She's with
Oh,
the
cool.
company too.
Cool. Oh my gosh. So it's going to be jam-packed with amazing performers with disabilities. Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Namel. I'm so excited to see you again soon, I'm sure. Keep making your music. We're all excited to listen, and congrats on the Grammys. What an exciting
Thanks.
moment.
All right. Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
that
one thing
was-
I didn't mention too. Be on the lookout for my web series coming too, that I want to work on with the Disability Channel, The Adventures of Mr. Waters.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
important.
gosh.
That's important
Yeah.
too, because I'm trying to capture these experiences. That's something else I was filming at the Grammys too. Like while I was out there, it's gonna be about what happened in Tupac Big and stuff like that.
Wow.
Be on the lookout for that. The Adventures of Mr. Waters, Disability Channel.
Cool. I love it. We need more series like that where we're just like exploring disability through a very authentic lens. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
All right. Thank you.